With so many new railway models coming to the market, sometimes there is not much time between new releases. And just like rail trains, with multiple models to review, it made sense for me at this moment in time to couple some of them up and review them together. So enjoy something a bit different as we dive into and sort of compare two recent releases from Rapido and KR models. A lot of different manufacturers have their fans and foes within the model railway hobby, but none seem to be more contentious than KR models. While they have the gusto to produce models of obscure prototypes that would have never seen the light of day, the execution of these models has been haphazard, inconsistent, and sometimes disastrous. That's why I've yet to pick up anything they've made, despite being tempted by the bullied leader. I'm holding out hope for Bellerophon, but the outlook's not promising or too forthcoming for that release. The Great Western Mica B Wagon, KR's latest release, seems like a safer bet for a competently produced model from the company. There are plenty of resources to draw from, including preserved examples, and a solid product would help right the company's deballasted ship, so to speak. Given the model is unpowered, I decided to take the reduced risk and pick one up, to see a KR Models product in action on my own layout. The wagon fills a gap in my collection as I have no insulated meat wagons. Plus I could get the wagon preserved at the Severn Valley Railway for £30 at the retailers. But the curse of KR may strike again. By contrast, Rapido's track record has been solid in my opinion and experience. Their recent LNWR Evolution coach bowled me over. But the busy team behind that and many other new models are not slowing down. Hot off the heels of that release, Rapido's new LNWR 4-plank wagons have arrived in stock. As a sucker for anything LNWR, and after seeing one of these wagons restored and preserved at the Bury Transport Museum in East Lancashire Railway, I pre-ordered one for my collection for £27.95 at Rails of Sheffield. Rapido wagons tend to be great, but their value for money as a wagon can be hit or miss in my view, so let's see how this new release lands with me. KR's Mica B was the first to arrive, and due to the white box and wagon I had to swap out the background of my light box. It's a nice professional box, and the product code for the Severn Valley's preserved Mica B model is KRM-MICA-00-4. I did note the slogan atop the box, with dare being the operative word. There were no accessory bags, so we can dive straight into the wagon itself. First, here is an image of the preserved wagon. I'm going to be referring to this a lot because there's a lot of differences. I am normally only broadly familiar with different prototypes, but even knowing nothing beyond how this wagon is supposed to look and what loads it carried, even I can see many things not quite as they should be. But first, the livery. It's hard to get white wrong, but I'm not even sure if this is painted or just white plastic. The red decals look crisp and clear enough, but the surface beneath them just looks plasticky and not really much better, if any, than Dapol's cheap £11 wagons. The decal quality does a lot of heavy lifting to differentiate this wagon from those of a budget calibre. The door handles and door bars are picked out in black, but that moulded bar looks much thicker than the one on the real-life wagon. I have also heard complaints that the curvature of the springs makes the wagon appear unloaded, and while I can kind of see what people mean, it isn't massively noticeable, at least not enough to bother me. The ends of the wagons are by far the most impressive portion, in terms of separate details. The handrails curve nicely, there's black footsteps, and the buffer beam comes with a pre-fitted coupling hook and pipe. The buffers look suitably chunky like on the real wagon, but we'll come back to those. Most potent of all in terms of errors with this model are the proportions of the roof and the end vents. On the real wagon, there is barely an overhang over the sides of the wagon, but on the model there is a much larger one. Likewise, the end vents are much thicker and larger on the model than they are in real life, and as the roof overhangs the ends of these as well, it makes the whole wagon look much longer than it should be. KR have got the fit and the dimensions wrong, which kind of beggars belief when this is supposed to be a real wagon one can, go and physically measure. That's not all. The wagon body is not held on with screws or clips, and you can see and hear it move just by handling the body. This means it can rattle around while in use. The underside reveals that the buffers hold the body in place, with long shanks that go through holes in the buffer beam. Who on earth thought that was a good design for £30? If the plastic buffers break or come out and get lost, how do you hold the body on the underframe? Even Dapol's cheapest wagons have the body secured by a screw or clips. We may as well look at the underside now, and what looked like a well-designed and robustly detailed area of the model is unfortunately soured by all that I've already covered. The axles look rather loose in their fitting, and, poorly fitted. Bearings would have helped here, but there are none to be found. On the scales, the Mica B comes in at 54 grams, which would be a decent weight, except with the plastic body we know that this is all lumped into a weight on the underframe. This also makes me more concerned about the friction on those axles and what rates of wear will be like if the wagon sees frequent prolonged running. The back-to-back wheel gauging came in at 14.5mm, so at least the wagon is gauged correctly and consistently. I bought this model giving KR models the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately their curse of sloppiness seems to have struck again. The wagon has not been a pleasant one to dissect up close, so I dread to think how it runs. But this is a double review, so let's move on to the next model before we see how this runs on the track. Right, Rapido. I've not had any bad experiences with their wagons so far, so I'm hoping that rings true again. Nothing about the LNWR 4 planks box indicates I should expect any difference. The product code for my LNWR Diamond delivery version is 95001. The wagon also came with an information sheet at least, covering the prototype history and warranty. With the wagon out of the box, we can at least tell it has been painted. The decals look to be of a similar, fairly high quality, but I'm not sure the white has quite reached between the planks here, not from this angle at least. The wagon ends have moulded rivets, lamp irons and coupling hooks, as well as painted buffers. The interior as well is painted brown with Rapido's typical colours and internal door detail in the moulding. The separate details for the brake levers also look remarkably fine, with tiny holes detailed in, and the levers even stick out beyond the length of the underframe. We know Rapido like detailing their underframes and do a good job, and I especially like the double spoke wheels on this model, though some of the paint application isn't the best around the edges. Underneath we can see the framing detailed in the tooling, and the tension lock couplers in NEM pockets. On the scales, the wagon comes in at 27 grams, which is almost half the weight of KR's Mica B, but I found half as much to critique at the same time. The back-to-back wheel gauging came in at 14.6mm, which is a bit higher than the standard, but still nice and consistent. So that's a short and sweet look at a wagon that seems solidly designed, built, painted and detailed. Rapido have their production process truly nailed down, with very few faux pas to be concerned about. Now, let's see how this and the Mica B do on the layout. Which wagon is your money on as being the best? As predicted, the Mica B is not a very free roller. You need to give it some decent force to get it to roll, otherwise it just stops. The axle fit and the weight no doubt hamper it here. Compare that to the Rapido wagon, which just glides away with much less force. The metal bearings make it almost frictionless by comparison. Time to test the couplings, and to really put the wagons head to head. At the head of the train we have my Rapido 15XX, the preserved 1501 from the Severn Valley Railway. I've not had this engine out in a long time, and it's an early Rapido release seldom talked about nowadays. It had its own share of quality and design issues when released, but Rapido have learned from then and made changes to their approaches. The same though can't be said for KR models. My engine though has not given me any trouble. Between the engine and the LNWR 4-plank we have a Dapol 4-plank, and behind the Mica B we have an also newly acquired LMS meat van, modelled to resemble the preserved one at the Watercress line. All my meat wagons are out on show. At the rear we have my LSWR road van, currently numberless as it's awaiting renumbering. Everything has coupled up first time. That is equally good for all wagons involved. Time for the points test. Everything's rolled nicely over the first set of streamline points. And the train moves across the pair of points in reverse without any issues. Baseboard joins were also of no concern for either wagon. Time for a test lap. The whole train makes it across the curved crossing and board join. As well as the far side along Deltix Pass. The second set of curving obstacles also proved to be non-issues. So for all the misgivings I had with the KR Mica B, it does seem to run as well as the LNWR open wagon in a train. Both performed as expected as hoped. One is just a better free-rolling wagon than the other. On to my final verdict. Starting with the Mica B. Decoration. Possible unpainted plastic notwithstanding, the decoration of the decals and separate details was done to a high standard. The base livery as well was the right colour, white, but whether it was paint or exposed plastic is unclear. Somehow though, the wagon didn't look as good in the flesh as it did in the product listing photos, where the white wagon on a white background somewhat hid the shortcomings. It might be harsh, but overall there's a plastic look to most of the model that I'm not a fan of given the price. I'm going to knock the decoration point off today as I'm honestly not wholly happy with it. Details and features. This came with all the details I could think of to ask for pre-fitted, and the separate details at least were well realised. The moulded detail though leaves a lot to be desired in terms of accuracy and proportions. The door bars and overly thick end vents come to mind. The handrails, steps and underframe all did impress me in terms of detail, so again, I'm not entirely happy but not entirely disappointed. I'll leave the moulding issues to the quality criterion and say that overall, I'm happy with the separate details and features on this model. The other problems are an issue with the wagon's design, so let's talk about the quality. It is just not there for what this wagon is asking for as a retail price. The plastic body and finish, the rattling body held on by separately fitted buffers, the coarse, oversized moulded details and roof. That's not to mention the questionable axle fit either. As soon as I finished my visual assessment of this wagon, I knew in my gut I couldn't give it a quality point. I'm not happy here. KR have dropped the ball on quality again, if not quite as spectacularly as on the Bullet Leader. Performance. Despite all the above, the wagon did run as well as any wagon should in a train. My only complaints are with the free rolling capability, but on the whole, this was a good performer that I was happy with. I'll give it the performance point. And finally, on to price. If you haven't guessed it yet, this is absolutely not worth £30. £15 to £18. Slightly more than a Dapol budget wagon, but less than a Bachmann one. That's where a wagon of this quality and design should sit. I took a chance and got bit. So overall that's a score of 2 out of 5, which might be a bit generous, but it means this wagon is one I can only recommend as bargain potential. If you find one in a sale or second hand, and have spare cash you don't mind dropping, then it's worth picking up. Otherwise, if you're not that desperate or well off, it's probably best to steer clear of this model. Right, and onto my final verdict for the LNWR 4-plank open wagon from Rapido. Decoration. This wagon is painted, and painted well, but the decals with the slight gaps in the planking do stop this from looking flawless. Plus, the decoration on the wheels isn't the cleanest. I've seen better from Rapido, so I'm going to knock the decoration point off today. Details and features. Again, this has all the separate brake rigging and moulded detail you'd expect from a Rapido pre-grouping wagon. You get rivets, lamp irons, brake levers and the like. It's a simple recipe redone on a new prototype. It gets the point here. Quality. Decal issues aside, there wasn't anything to fault in the wagon's design or construction. It was solid in body, frames and axles, and came with metal bearings. I have no complaints. Performance. Once again, it runs as freely and easily as you could hope. Another easy mark. And finally, onto price. I have marked Rapido wagons down for costing £27.95 in the past, but with the Mica B now under my lens of scrutiny, my scales of judgment on this have somewhat shifted. This Rapido wagon is cheaper, better designed, better painted, better at free rolling, and just all round better value. It ticks more boxes for me, for less money. I'll give Rapido the price point today, and I hope they continue to give better results for less, and lead the way in showing other manufacturers how it's done. Overall, that's a score of 4 out of 5, making this a wagon I can highly recommend, especially compared to the Mica B. If you find one without decal print issues, you've got a stellar wagon to admire and run. So what do you think of these two rather contrasting wagons? I'm sure you're wondering just why I bought the KR Models Mica B, as a lot of issues were present in the initial CADs and other production photos that, as we've seen, haven't been corrected despite feedback. A more accurate Parkside Models kit does exist for the Mica B, but I went for the KR version because of time. I want to invest my time in modelling other things than more wagons, and grabbing the ready-to-run model allows me to have a Mica B approximation and, save time. The wagon looks decent enough, even if on closer inspection it doesn't stand up to the prototypical scrutiny that I've put it through. It suited my personal needs well enough, just not as well as I initially hoped. Well, that was certainly an interesting review. Well, reviews. Let me know down in the comments if you like seeing two new releases getting reviews side by side like this. It was a refreshing way to review models, so I might do it again in the future if new releases align. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back in another video very soon. Take care.